Hey YouTube, I am Tiberius and you're about to watch an edited recording of a Twitch stream. You can check out my Twitch using the link in the video description. If you enjoy the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Okay, DC-1 I believe won. Alright, so we'll make a DC... I believe this one is stupidly easy or something. So what we're going to do, we're going to make... okay. Alright, got DC-1. Alright, we have an IP address. We're going to let the box boot for a little bit, though. Note that. I guess what we could do is we could at least just... I'm going to make a ping it. Alright, should we just use AutoRecon? Alright, we're going to use AutoRecon. AutoRecon is a tool I wrote. There is port 80. For some reason, it just wasn't loading. It's a tool I wrote for my OSCP, which is like 4 years ago now. And yeah, what it does, I mean, it's very basic. It does some nmap scans to extract services, and then it runs a bunch of other scans based on those services. Like, for instance, in this case, it found SSH, HTTP, and RPC. It knows when it finds SSH, it should do a specific nmap SSH scan. Right? The initial nmap scans are pretty basic. They don't really run... Actually, they don't run any scripts, I don't think. Or maybe they do. SC is scripts, right? They run the default scripts, which isn't much. But yeah, the nmap SSH script runs a bit more detailed SSH scripts. The HTTP is the biggest one, because so much you can do with HTTP. It runs Dirbuster. It looks for a few files like known security and robots. It just does a basic curl, nmaps it, virtual host enumeration, etc. So in this case, actually, this is interesting. So it also has pattern matching. So the curl plugin matched a pattern powered by, which in this case says it's powered by PHP 5.4.45, which is pretty old. Also Drupal. All right, so I mean, let's just try load this port 80 again. There we go, that worked. All right, really want to find the version of Drupal, because there are a few Drupal exploits. Drupal 7. I forget when Drupalgeddon. So there are a couple of exploits called Drupalgeddon. Yeah, here we go. So Drupalgeddon 2 specifically. So I mean, we could just try this. I imagine that's what it is. Oh, we can try exploit DB though. That might have a Drupalgeddon. Yeah, here we go. Drupalgeddon. Alright, yeah, it's the same one. We can just grab it though now. Use search exploit with -m, which is the mirror, so it mirrored it, basically copied the file. Now if we do Ruby 4449 -help maybe. Okay. -h. No. I guess we have to edit this. Okay, no, try to write a web... Okay. Alright, so this is just going to try and write a PHP shell to the web root, which I guess we can just try. So it just looks like we have to give it the IP address, because it looked like it put an HTTP before everything. All right, so basically I think what it's doing right now is trying to figure out which version it is. Okay, and it indeed worked. Okay, we have a fake PHP shell.
Thank you for following.
This isn't a real shell. I've done this in the past. All they're doing is they're taking whatever I type here and they're sending it to this as in the C parameter. So like if I was just to do, I think C equals ID here, we should get something. I mean, at this stage, I can just cancel this crap. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'm not even in, but I'm definitely in, you know. All right, so we'll use revshellgen, which is another great tool. It's a PHP shell, so I usually use nc mknod. For some reason, that seems to work better than anything else. 1.6. Also, I need to URL encode it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy that, use nc, set up a nice reverse shell listener, and then hopefully do this. I think the box is a little slow. It is, you probably can't see it, but it is spinning. There we go. Now we're actually in. All right, let's see if we have Python. We do. Do we have Python 3? We do not. All right, so we're going to use Python-C, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. Right, Control Z, stty size to get the size of my current terminal, stty raw-echo foreground, and then I need to do stty rows is 39. That's this value here. stty cols 172. And then export term equals xterm 256 go. And now we have a shell which I shouldn't be able to cancel. Yeah, so I can Control C and it doesn't kill my shell. I mean, I guess we can write it was Drupalgeddon. Easy. All right, let's have a look for pass. I mean, there's flag 1. I mean, but this thing doesn't usually. Oh well, I mean, yeah, I was gonna do this. So the question is, where's the config file? It's probably, if there's not an include, it might be one level up actually. No, it's in sites. Is it just in default? Maybe. Web.config. Web.config. That would be a very odd file to have. I don't, yeah. I'm not entirely sure why web.config is even here. It shouldn't be. So, I mean, I guess let's have a look in. Oh, there's a. We'll look at the settings file. This looks promising. It's probably going to be near the top. There we go. Bruteforce and dictionary text aren't the only ways to gain access. What can you do with these credentials? I mean, I know, we'll find out. I wish it wouldn't give you clues.
Thank you for following.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make a note of this and make a note of also the file it was in. So it was this file here. Obviously, we've got a username dbuser and a password of Rocket. A few things we could do. I mean, obviously we can look up users. There's only one user account, which is 1001. So obviously the most obvious thing to do is try an SU to flag 4. I doubt this is going to work with the content. So with this Rocket password. No. In the real world, but you change the owner of the config file to root. No, AutoRecon is correct. Yeah. What's the best way? I mean, don't have stupid bugs where you can get shells on web servers. Ultimately, any file that the web server needs to run the site, it's going to have. I mean, it has to have access to. It's just how everything works. So, yeah. Ideally, you wouldn't have this. And you don't run. So the way web servers work, they have to run as root to listen to port 80. But what they do, they're very clever. The initial process runs as root, and then what they do is they spawn child processes. So the initial process listens on port 80, and they spawn child processes, and they downgrade the child process users to a low-level user account, usually www data, which is what we have. And then that way, any request sent to port 80 can just be forwarded to those processes. And so, like, if I was to do ps-ef, probably here, you see Apache is running as www data here. But this one, right, there's Apache. Apache 2 start, this is the initial process. All right, this is the PID 2290. Okay, this is the parent ID 1, right? This was run from the root's initial process. So as you can see, if you look down at all the other Apaches, their parent process is 2290, right? All of them. So even though they're running as www data, they were spawned by this root process. It's a very clever way of doing it. MySQL does the same thing. So you have MySQL here, right? MySQL doesn't necessarily need to do this. There is a good reason why it does. I also can't remember now. But yeah, the MySQL dsafe thing is what downgrades everything. So you're running as root, but then if you actually look at the MySQL process here, right, it's running as MySQL. It's probably because I think MySQL, yeah, all the MySQL files are like stored in specifically non-user directories. So it has to, like, the data directory is probably only writable, or parts of it are only writable or accessible by root or something. All right, so what we can do though, we can actually just try and log in to the database as this user. All right, so it's DrupalDB. So we just use the MySQL process. What was the username? dbuser. So this, if you put a space between the -p and Rocket, it will prompt you for the password. So don't do this. So if you want to put the password on the command line, which obviously you should never do, but I'm just doing it because why not? You do -p and then you just instantly do the password. And then we need to do the DrupalDB. There we go. So that basically says, okay, use the DB user with the password Rocket, and then this bit is, hey, select the database DrupalDB. Yeah, if I didn't do that, let's just run it again, and let's just put a space. It's going to say something stupid. I mean, it obviously didn't work. Probably because you can't have two things. Like if I didn't select database. Yeah, enter password. basically, if you do -p with a space, it's going to prompt you for the password. All right. So if I was to do Drupal DB here, that was the right one. Yeah, I can't remember. Right, and then I select this and I paste it. It'll still give me access. This is just the other way of doing it. Would take Rocket as a DB? Yes. Which obviously doesn't exist. Okay, so we should be in. I mean, we can check for other databases, the show databases file, but yeah, we just have access to Drupal DB and information schema, which is default. So we can show tables. And I'm guessing the users table, if we do describe users, there we go. So we can probably do select name pass from users. And there we go. So we have a couple of users here. So users table. Oops. And okay, so what I'm going to do, we're going to copy all this. We're going to put it into a. You can probably just cancel that right now. Oh, well, maybe not.
Oh God, what is this, Tiberius?
What is what? Okay, we'll just do hashes. Would a WAF help against the Drupalgeddon exploit? I mean, it depends on the WAF. Literally, just, I mean, there are some really dumb WAFs out there. But honestly, if you're in a situation where you have a WAF, why wouldn't you just also upgrade Drupal? Like, this is fixed in Drupal. Okay, we're going to use name that hash. I guess you can do file, right? Hashes. Okay. Name that hash is great because it tells you, hey, this is the most likely hash, but it also tells you, hey, and John the Ripper just used Drupal 7, which is what we're going to do. We're going to use word list of rocku, format Drupal 7, and give it the hashes. And we're going to see what happens. So this is a SHA-512 hash, which means it's pretty. It's gonna take a while. So let's have another look at the results because maybe we missed something. DC-1. Maybe not. I mean, we could try looking around again. We didn't really do any like sudo stuff. Sudo's not even there apparently. Let's just go into the home directory. Well, okay, I guess local.txt is there, so we'll copy that. Okay, we'll submit the flag. Got half a flag. Okay, so we can cd into flag 4. There is a bash history as well, and flag4.txt is actually all these files are readable. Can you use the same method to find or access the flag in root? Alright, we're gonna cat bash history. Okay, no, we can't read that one. Okay, fine. So we're looking here. So the root directory, yeah, is not readable. I mean, I guess we can try and look for some SUID files. What is? Oh, John, right? Yeah. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy it into here. All right, we can probably just do this, right? Find that. Was it -u equals s -f? No, sorry, -type f, and then dev null. I think that was it. Perfect. Okay, what have we got here? All these are default. Procmail. Well, fine. Oh dear, chat. Wow. Actually, so yeah, hang on. Just confirm this. This is the find command. Yeah, lovely. So we can go to GTFOBins, but I already know what it's going to be. Because find as a way of executing stuff. With exec. So if we just run this. Honestly, we shouldn't do it as dot. We should do, it's going to exec this for every single file. So what we should do is do user bin find and then just do flag4.txt. Right, that's going to work, yeah. And then we'll do this. Screw it, we'll do bash. And we're root. I don't have to run it as sudo. There's no sudo. It's an SUID file, right? SUIDs and sudo are different. SUID files, if there is an S, right, in this execute slot, it means the file will run as the owner. In this case, the owner is root. So this means, hey, run whenever this file runs, it'll run as the user. Sudo is different. Sudo is arguably a little more secure because generally with sudo you can only specify. Firstly, you can specify users who can run the files or users who can run sudo. To run sudo, you usually have to enter your password, and you can also limit it. So you could say, okay, this user can run this program as this user, so not even as root. Why is it referred to as a sticky bit? I don't know. Or is sticky bit something else? No, it is. Oh no, sticky bit's on the directory. No, it is. Yeah, so it's different for directories. I'm thinking of directories. I don't know why it's called a sticky bit. Nobody really. I mean, it's silly. SUID is much easier to understand. And it's not even called a sticky bit like in the context of what you're doing. It's like it's a set UID. The S doesn't even stand for sticky in SUID. It's set UID. So I don't quite understand. Oh, hang on. No. Sticky bit is different. Wait. The symbol T. Alright. Forget that. What does this do then? Oh, right. I got it. So that, yeah. So if a directory has a sticky bit set, it means that only the owner of the directory can rename, delete stuff inside that directory, even if the files are owned by somebody else. That's it. So if you have a multi-user system and you want people to be able to write to a specific directory, but you don't want them to be able to remove other people's files, for instance, then you would set a sticky bit. But in terms of like privilege escalation, I don't think there's anything you could do with sticky bits. Okay, so we need to cd into root now. Proof.txt. Okay, and what's this final flag? All right, there's the Twitter account. Where are we? Okay, any questions about that box? Relatively easy. So the Drupal thing is just experience. Every time I see Drupal, I think Drupalgeddon. Back when it was released, it was just, just kind of hilarious how bad it was. I mean, that's why it's called Drupalgeddon. As you saw, unauthenticated remote code execution is pretty much as bad as it can get. On the screen are my socials. Please follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course follow me on Twitch to get alerted when I go live. You can also find all these links in the video description.